Well, firstly, thank you, ladies and gents, and in particular Peter, for allowing us to present to you today. I'm here with my colleagues, Adrian, who is the founder of the British Training Board, and Vicky, my colleague who works as our head of administration. Now, what we've been asked to do today is just give you an insight into the type of work we're doing in relation to using our military skills, history and experiences, and how we've adopted a method of using that to translate into employer-led recognised accreditation that is then useful to enhance the chosen individual's career development route. So what I'm going to do is just present to you the presentation that we currently use to present to our huge employer group of networks out there, not just in Wales but across the UK, to encourage employers to engage with us. So what we ask our employees to do is play their ACE card. For us, the ACE card generally means use and maximise military talent and look at using that in a way to benefit those businesses, organisations and employers across the UK. So in doing so, we ask our employers to access that talent pool by choosing and job matching the right individual that will suit their roles that they may have available at that time to enhance their workforce. Without accurate employer engagement, our processes struggle to achieve what they're set out to achieve. We can do great work in translating those skills and experiences, without actually having accurate employment routes, the system fails. Since March this year, we've been actively looking to recruit more employers as members of our guaranteed interview scheme, which I'll talk about shortly, because currently we've been more active in England and Scotland, but more recently now we're really driving this forward here in Wales. To set the scene a bit further, I'm going to show you a short video that we use to present to our employers. So hopefully that will set the scene for the rest of my presentation. The British Training Board is a not-for-profit community interest company that was initially set up in 2014 by Adrian and his brother Anthony to focus on that military issue at the time of translating our history into valuable accreditation. We've most recently been requested by our police forces in Wales and our prison services to adopt and mirror that process for those leaving those services. I myself, being an ex-military person of a short 8-year career, but a longer 18-year career in Gwent Police, can really relate to the issues I faced when I left service. To the extent, in 2017, my own personal story was quite simple. I was working in a college environment in Gwent as a project manager, and I was asked by the senior management team to apply for a business manager's role at senior management level. Unfortunately, I had no qualifications to achieve that post. I went home a bit deflated and disheartened, and went on to my friends to Google, had a play around, and I found the British Training Board. Contacted them, became a member, and quite quickly, over a 30-day period, I received 6 qualifications based on my military and police history, 2 of those in management. I then produced those qualifications to my employer, got the interview, successful, and got offered the job. However, for me, Adrian approached me and asked me to become his operations director. So for me personally, the system works. It actually put me on the right road to where I wanted to be in my future. And I've used that story to tell not just our veterans in Wales, but those military serving units across the UK about how this process can really benefit you while you're serving through transition and beyond. It's a simple process. We ask our members who join to submit evidence of history in various forms, and our curriculum team will translate that through an accurate process into certain qualification routes. We can't do it alone, and we don't do it alone. We use like-minded organisations across the UK. In particular in Wales, we're working closely with a number of universities, and Ross is here today, who we're supporting with his approved prior learning process to ensure that we can maximise that talent pool right up to higher education achievements, to various degree levels. And that's working really well. I'm actually starting my Masters in 3 weeks in professional practice. So for a young lad who left the Rhondda, joined the army at 16, if I can achieve a degree at that level, that will make me so proud. So I've down to the interview scheme. It's a scheme that Adrian created to support the employer recognition scheme. As for those who know, the employer recognition scheme now has been launched and is growing and growing in success. So we were proud this year to achieve our silver award, and I'm sure we will be doing our very best to get gold next year or the year after. So our employers, once they join, and it is an application process which you'll see shortly, we work with the employer to benefit the employer. We want the process to be two-way. We don't want to take everything without giving something back. So employers get a wide variety of services at no cost to them. The main benefit that most of our employers see and recognise is the no cost for recruitment. So they're using our system and processes as a form of recruitment. Coming to us, asking us to look at filling roles and job matching individuals to get into that workplace. So that's working really well. As I mentioned, it's a membership scheme, so employers have to apply. We will only take employers who are on the employer recognition scheme. So we actually work with the employer to achieve the bronze award and then help them over the next year or two to achieve silver and beyond. We do that because we recognise the value of the ERS scheme and want to ensure that the badge that they receive is being recognised as worth something. We have had some employers that actually obtain a badge just to have the badge on their website, which we are trying to eradicate and get out of the system. So we're passionate about ensuring that the ERS scheme is valued, and in doing so we value that employer. There's no cost at all, that's fully funded through our non-profit organisation. The employer then will benefit from the following immediate services. We'll allocate an employer relationship manager who will then visit the employer and look at recruitment needs, look at training needs analysis, and what training requirements that employer may need to support somebody into that employment route. That also has now been expanded across all training needs of that employer. The reason we did this is as follows. We've got a number of participants that have come through our journey that are quality instructors, tutors and assessors. So what we do is we allocate those out to employers on a freelance self-employed basis, and we've got a large number of ex-service personnel now across the UK working directly with employers to conduct internal training, accredited training and other forms of education. So that is working really well. We also conduct some gap analysis work to ensure that the company's performance and quality standards are right, and in doing so create accurate career development plans. So every individual going through our journey has got a focus, a vision to get from service leaving, veteran into that employment route. Just to finish off, to give you an insight into some of the current projects we are running, there is currently over 1,500 employers that are now members of our Guaranteed scheme across the UK. Since March this year, we've been actively trying to raise this profile in Wales. There is only currently 10% of those employers that are Welsh-based employers. That doesn't include those national employers that cover all of the UK for us. So I'm actively out on the road every week delivering presentations to the business community to try and encourage employers across Wales, whether small, medium or large, to become a member of our GIS scheme. We're doing some great work initially in the Gwent region, where we're focusing on a more smarter, streamlined, collaborative approach to ensure that the employment routes are there and the work in between the service leaver and veteran engaging to sustained employment is made as smooth and accurate as possible. To do that, we're going to be launching one of our first regional hubs in Gwent, working closely with Lisa, who's doing some great work there in relation to guaranteed income schemes and the wider interaction with our audiences in Gwent. I'm not going to steal Lisa's thunder, she's going to talk more in detail about that shortly. Just to add, last week we managed to get 9 partners in a room in Raglan Barracks in Newport to support our delivery plan to roll out career development hubs across Wales. So the focus initially is in Gwent. We've already had a great interest in the other regions across Wales to mirror that project in those regions to ensure that the employment routes across Wales are there for everyone to access. So that's our current project vision. In doing so, we will certainly seek to create a one-stop shop mechanism. It's very interesting to hear about what Kate had to say from the Defence Transition Service. And I'd be welcome to speak to you later about how we can assist that rollout. And we'd love the opportunity to do that in Wales from an employment, career development point of view. It's a tailored service that has to meet the needs of the individual and or their families. We also provide a service called Positive Direction to our partners and spouses, so husbands, wives, girlfriends, depending on the makeup of the family. As a service child myself, my father did 42 years in the military, so I can personally relate to the difficulties my mother had when she left service. She had no career route. She may have worked in the camp, in the NAFI or in the creche as they do, but when she left her social network behind. And the only way of re-engaging into her community was to get a job, and she struggled to do that because she had no career. So we run a positive direction program that works really well for our partners and spouses to ensure that they can access employment upon leaving service with their husband or wife. Initially, as I mentioned, our focus has to be career development to employment, although be it a number of projects we've run most recently in England, I've identified the other real issues that do complement and perhaps put a barrier towards employment. So we've been asked to look at that as well. To do that, we've brought partners in. We can't specialise in everything. To finish off, our education and career development programmes hopefully will be a benefit to you and your organisations as well. And we'd welcome the opportunity to come and speak to you about this in more detail. I'll try to condense this presentation to be more accurate. And hopefully we will see you again in the future. I know most of you in the room anyway, but I'd welcome the opportunity to come and see the rest of you to really embed this in Wales, where we know it needs to be initially to fill the gaps in service that Peter spoke about earlier. Thanks for your time, and I'd welcome the opportunity to speak to you later. Thank you.